Welcome on into Getting Wild with Terry, free NHL picks. I am Terry, and we are not live. This is a recorded show. I'm going to try this out Saturday, Sundays, and see how things go. Normally, we'd start off the show with looking at what happened yesterday, but what happened yesterday hasn't happened yet, I guess you'd say. Um, we already did the show for today, which looked at yesterday. So tomorrow we'll do the kind of recap I'll do on tomorrow's show, looking back at what happened today. But we'll just get right into the Saturday slate. 15 games to go over on this slate. So we will jump right into it here with the first game starting at 1 p.m. Eastern time. We have the Tampa Bay Lightning plus 130 to plus 147. Boston Bruins minus 161 to minus 182. There's sixes and there's a couple 5.5s available in this one. Let me get the stats here. Tampa Bay's lost 3 games in a row. They're 2-5 in their last 7 games on the road. They've given up 15 goals total in their last 3 games. Tampa Bay has. So they are starting to look like they did when they were having kind of that rough stretch. They kind of look like they started turning things around, but now they're kind of going back to the team that looked like they were in trouble. Boston's won 5 games in a row. 4 of the 5 games they've won by multiple goals. Boston had like a 3 game stretch there where they kind of looked like they were taking their foot off the gas, but that has been corrected. Boston 5-1 in the last 6 meetings. They've covered the puck line in 3 of the last 5 meetings against Tampa Bay. I can see why people would look at Tampa Bay at this plus price and think that it's an attractive price. And plus 140 for Tampa Bay does sound attractive, but I think Boston wins this game by multiple goals. Tampa Bay is just not in good form right now. Boston's had their number recently. Boston's smashing whoever they face. I think this is a good spot for the Boston Bruins. You can take them in regulation, or you can take them on the puck line for a nice plus 160 there. Of course, these odds are, as of right now, these odds will change a lot overnight. So these are the odds. I'm filming the show just before 7 p.m. on Friday night. Boston puck line or Boston in regulation. When it comes to props, as I said on today's show, I'll go over all the props here I have listed, and then I'll put officially what I'm on in the chat tomorrow once odds come out, because obviously odds will determine whether or not I pull the trigger. But Steven Stamkos has an assist in 4 of his last 5 games for Tampa Bay. Mikhail Sergachev, who scored in his last game, but has mostly been assisting, has an assist in 7 of his last 10. 2 or more assists in 5 of his last 10. Patrice Bergeron has an assist in 4 straight games. Jake DeBrusk has a goal in 4 straight games. David Krejci has a goal in 3 straight games. For the Bruins, I will be on Jake DeBrusk anytime goal. I know that for sure. The other props will depend on price, but I know I will be right back on Jake DeBrusk in this game. We will move on along to our second game. Here we have the Detroit Red Wings and the Philadelphia Flyers. Detroit plus 110 to plus 119. Philadelphia minus 125 to minus 140. 6.5s right across the board in this one. Normally, I would say that this is a pass game. This is a game that you should not look towards. However, I'm surprised myself, but I like Philadelphia in this spot. Minus 125, minus 130. I would not go past the minus 135 point, but Philadelphia 3-0-1 in their last 4 games. And watching them play against Minnesota, they are playing like they want to win. They're playing really, John Tortorella will not allow players to half-ass it. These guys want to win. They are trying to play well. Their last 5 games have gone over 6.5. Philadelphia is scoring goals right now. Detroit has lost 4 of their last 5. Alex Nedeljkovic will be back in net for Detroit in this one. But the major thing here, Philadelphia, 17-1-1 in their last 19 games at home against Detroit. That shocked me. 17-1-1 in their last 19 at home against Detroit. For whatever reason, the Red Wings struggle in Philadelphia. If this Flyers team was not playing well right now, I would not be on them, but I'm backing the Flyers here. You can take David Perron to get an assist for Detroit. He has one in 3 straight games. If you can get Noah Cates for an assist, he has one in 3 straight games for Philadelphia. But the prop that I will be taking is Joel Farabee, anytime goal. He has a goal in 4 straight games for the Flyers, and I'm assuming it's going to be a good price. With most Philadelphia players will be really good prices on goal scoring props. So that's what I like here. I like the Flyers in this one. Moving along to our third game here, Seattle and Nashville at 2 p.m. Eastern. A lot of afternoon games on this Saturday. Another reason why I'm glad doing this the night before, giving people lots of time to make their bets. Seattle Kraken -133 to -150. Nashville Predators +105 to +118. Sixes, couple 6.5s here in this one. The Predators got the win in the shootout. These teams went to overtime and went to the shootout. Seattle 2-1-1 in their last 4 games, 6-0-1 in their last 7 on the road. They've gone to overtime in 4 of their last 6 games. So the Kraken are playing close games with their opponents and are going to overtime. Nashville 5-2-1 in their last 8 games. They've gone to overtime in 4 of their last 8. So both teams are going to overtime. They just went to overtime in the last meeting that they faced each other, but I'm going to be on the draw here also in this one. +320, as long as you get it above +300. I like it here for the draw. Seattle 3-1-1 against Nashville since joining the league. 1-0-1 in Nashville. Obviously, not a lot of stats there because Seattle is still such a new team. Looking at props, Vince Dunn cashed for me in his last game to get an assist. He has an assist in 10 of his last 12 games. Depending on the price, I will be right back on that once again. Daniel Sprong for Seattle has a goal in back-to-back games and has a point in 5 of his last 6 games. Because he's on the 4th line, we never get to see a point prop for him. But I have it down listed here just in case. If not, the goal scoring prop will be a nice plus price. But he has one in back-to-back games. I think he can score here. Morgan Geekie, who plays alongside Daniel Sprong, has an assist in 3 of his last 3 games. If we're able to take him for a point, that's where I would go in that one. And then for Nashville, Thomas Novak, he has an assist in 5 of his last 7 games and a point in 7 of his last 8 games for the Nashville Predators in this one. So I'll be looking to Novak and Vince Dunn for sure, obviously depending on the price. And then I'm taking the draw on this one. I think we get a close game. When it comes to the total, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a 2-2 type game going overtime. So I'd lean with the under, but not no play on the total in this one. Moving on along to our next game here, we have San Jose Sharks +220 to +280. Calgary Flames -294 to -333. 6.5s right across the board in this one. San Jose have lost their last 8 games in a row, but they've gone to overtime in 3 of their last 5. They've given up 4+ goals in 7 of their last 8 games. So the Sharks are giving up goals. Calgary 2-2-2 in their last 6. They've gone over 6.5 in 4 of their last 6 games. I think we get a higher scoring game in this one. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the teams have gone over 6.5. So I do like the over here. But I can't believe I'm going to say this. Calgary should, well, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but Calgary should not be minus 300 favorites here. They're not playing the type of hockey that deserves to be minus 300 favorites. No, I don't think the Sharks win this game, but I'm taking the Sharks plus 1.5, plus money. I think the Sharks can keep this game close. Looking at what's happened when San Jose has come to Calgary, they've won 6 of their last 7 games in Calgary. I get it. San Jose is not playing well. They're not a team I want to back, but they've had success against this Flames team. They have been playing pretty close games recently, and I think this is just too big of a favorite price for this Flames team. So I'm taking the San Jose Sharks plus 1.5 in this one. Players I'll be looking to target here. There's only one San Jose player I'm looking at, Andrew Agazino. He's on the top line for the Sharks. He's only played in 2 games for the Sharks. He has a point in both games. I'm hoping his point prop is available. Andrew Agazino. And if it is, it'll be plus money, and I'll be on it if it's available. For Calgary, 2 players I'm looking at. You're going to have to take them in a parlay. You can't single bet this with the odds. But Tyler Toffoli, Elias Lindholm, both have a point in 6 of their last 8 games for Calgary. If I was looking at Calgary props, those are the guys that I would be looking at for the Flames here. Let me move on along here to our next game. Winnipeg Jets and the LA Kings here. Winnipeg plus 105 to plus 115. LA minus 125 to minus 138. Sixes, see a couple 6.5s here in this one. And when it comes to the total, I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen in this game. Very conflicting numbers right now when it comes to the total. Winnipeg have won 5 of their last 8 games, but they've gone under 5.5 in 5 games in a row. They are playing somewhat decently, but they're doing it with defense and goaltending, not with offense. LA 8-0-2 in their last 10 games. They've gone over 6.5 in 6 of their last 10. So they're playing in higher scoring games recently. Winnipeg 4-2 in their last 6 in LA. 5 of the last 6 meetings in LA have gone under 5.5. But when you look at both meetings this year between the teams, 6-4 and 6-5. So the total, like I said, conflicting numbers on both sides. I could see it going over. I could see it going under. But I'm going to back the LA Kings here at minus 125. I think that's a good price for them here. They've been playing really, really good hockey since getting Korpisalo and Gavrikov. Good defenseman addition, a good 1A, 1B goaltending addition, and they've just played well. So I'm going to continue to take them here. I like them a lot better than Winnipeg right now. And I think minus 125 is a great price for them. Looking at props, none for Winnipeg because nobody's really consistent right now for the Winnipeg Jets. But Gabriel Velarde continues to find a way to get a point for the LA Kings. Points in 8 of his last 10 games. He's still on the third line, but he continues to find ways to get points. So I will be on Gabriel Velarde to get a point, of course, depending on the odds. Buffalo and New York Islanders. Buffalo playing tonight. New York Islanders also playing tonight. So both of these teams on a second night of a back-to-back. Buffalo plus 140 to plus 165. The Islanders minus 167 to minus 188. 6.5s right across the board in this one. And this game is going to be a pass for me. The one player I might be looking at is Pierre Engvall. He has a point in 4 of his last 5 games for the Islanders, obviously not including Friday night. If he gets another point tonight, I will 100% be on him here against Buffalo. Buffalo obviously has defensive issues with goaltending, but they've really struggled here in New York against the Islanders. The Islanders have won 11 straight games at home against Buffalo. Both meetings this year, the home team won 3-2. Buffalo's lost 3 there, or has lost 4 in a row. The last 5 have gone over. The Islanders have won 6 of their last 8, and they've covered minus 2.5 in their last 3 games in a row. So the Islanders are finding their offense right now and are beating teams up. We'll see what happens tonight for them against Columbus. It should be a smash spot for them. And then they've got a back-to-back here against Buffalo, which could be another smash spot. It's a team that they have dominated throughout the years. But right now, nothing official in this game. I'll be looking at Pierre Engvall depending on the price. Moving on to our next game, the game I'll be watching tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. We have the Chicago Blackhawks plus 260 to plus 286. Minnesota Wild minus 333 to minus 400. Sixes. Do see a couple 5.5s available here. This one, Chicago 3-9-1 in their last 13 games. They've lost by 2 or more in 8 of their last 9 regulation losses. So they have lost by multiple goals most of the time. Minnesota 13-1-4 in their last 18 games. Continues to find ways to get points. Even games like their last game against Philadelphia, where they just didn't play well. And they've won by multiple goals, 2 or more goals in 5 of their last 6 wins. So in Minnesota's recent wins, they have won by multiple goals. 6-0-1 in their last 7 against Chicago. They've won the last 7 games against Chicago in general, and they covered the puck line in 4 of 6 games. The issue here for me is that the puck line is minus 130. So the books will not allow me to back the Wild in this game. But that is okay. Lots of other games on the slate to bet. And there'll be player props here. Matt Boldy, anytime goal. He has goals in 5 of his last 7 games, and he has 6 goals total in his last 3 games. 1 goal, obviously, with the hat trick, 1 game with 2 goals, and 1 game with just 1 goal. But he continues to find the back of the net. Marcus Johansson to get a point. 5 of his last 7 games, he is a point. I'm assuming that's going to be around plus money, maybe minus 110, depending on the price there for Marcus Johansson. I'll be right back on him to get a point, Matt Boldy to get a goal, and that's basically it here. I'm priced out of it otherwise. We will jump on along, go in here to our next game. And this is one of my favorite games of the day. This is a reason why I have to do a show for Saturdays, is to be able to cover games like this. New York Rangers minus 105 to plus 107. Florida Panthers minus 111 to minus 128. 6.5s right across the board here in this one. The Rangers 7-1-1 in their last 9 games. Their 1 regulation loss there was against Carolina. They bounced back in their next game as an underdog on the road in Carolina, got the job done. Florida 6-2-1 in their last 9 games. They've gone over 6.5 in 6 of their last 7. The Rangers 8-3-1 in the last 12 games in Florida. They've had success in Florida. 9 of the last 10 meetings in Florida have gone over 6.5. 14 of the last 15 meetings between these teams have gone over 6.5. When these teams face each other, it is very high scoring games. The one game that did not go over 6.5 in the last 15 meetings was a 4-2 New York Rangers win. So it finished with 6 goals. It was very close to going over. The first 2 games of the season this year, I auto bet the over. And I don't really like the words auto bet. There really shouldn't be any auto bets. But when these two teams face each other, it's high scoring games. And that has continued on this year. So I like the over here. Minus 125, minus 119 if you have Bet Rivers. If you have to take DraftKings at minus 130, that's fine too. As I said, my cutoff number is minus 135, but I like the over here in this one. And I like the Rangers when I'm getting them as a dog on the road, especially against a team that they played well against. I do like the Rangers here in this game. Looking at props here, Artemi Panarin has a goal in 3 of his last 4 games, and Mika Zibanejad has an assist in 4 of his last 5 games. Those two are kind of switching jobs here. So Panarin is starting to shoot more and score more when he used to assist most of the time, and Panarin, who used to get the goals, is now making the passes. So things are starting to switch there between those two. But the Florida player I'm on, Matthew Tkachuk, 6 straight games with a goal. I'm going right back to him once again here. Of course, depending on the price, but with Florida being a minus 120-ish against the Rangers, I think Tkachuk anytime goal should be around plus 105, hopefully. So I will be on that as long as it's not like minus 130 or something for Matthew Tkachuk. Moving on along, here we have the Vancouver Canucks and the Dallas Stars. Vancouver plus 150 to plus 175. Dallas minus 182 to minus 208. 6s and 6.5s in this one. First off, I don't think we should be seeing 6s in this game. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these teams have gone over 6.5. Vancouver's won the last 5 meetings. Shout out to Richie, who I'm sure will be watching the show, a Dallas Stars fan, but he said Dallas struggles versus the Western Canadian teams. And I cashed a plus 167 with Vancouver. They've won 8 of their last 10 games. They've gone over 6.5 in 4 of their last 7. Dallas 2-2-1 in their last 5. They've gone over and not over 6.5 in 9 of their last 11. Vancouver 5-1 in their last 6 trips to Dallas. I like the Canucks at a huge plus price here, plus 165, plus 175 up to, and I like the over 6. I don't think it should be a 6. Yes, Vancouver's playing well right now when it comes to Thatcher Demko and net. However, this Dallas team is an over machine. These two teams usually go over when they face each other. So I like the underdog, the road dog, and I like the over 6 in this one. Despite me liking the over, I don't like a ton of props here. I'm going right back to Wyatt Johnston, who did not get a point in his last game, but he's got a goal in 5 of his last 6 games. Depending on the price for his point prop, I may take him to score instead for Dallas. For Vancouver, nobody stands out to me at this moment right now. I will check on prices in the morning, and if anything else stands out to me, then I will give it out in my little write-up that I'll do in the comment section of this video tomorrow morning sometime. We have 6 games left, and I wish I would have got a drink because I am a little thirsty here, but it's okay. Toronto Maple Leafs plus 110 to plus 125. Carolina Hurricanes minus 137 to minus 150. Home favorites. Sixes. I do see a 6.5 available in this one. Toronto 5-2-1 in their last 8 games, coming off a win in Florida. 7 of their last 8 games have gone over 6.5. Carolina 3-4 in their last 7 games. They miss Svechnikov. They certainly do. 3 of their last 5 games have gone over 6.5. Toronto has won 6 of their last 8 in Carolina, and Toronto's won the last 4 meetings against this Carolina team. I understand Carolina's at home, so maybe they should be slate favorites in this, but minus 150, minus 145, that's not slate favorites. I think Carolina is overpriced here, and I'm on the Toronto Maple Leafs as a road dog. And my player prop here, Mitch Marner, not for an assist, but for a goal. He has goals in 4 straight games and 8 of his last 11. I'm surprised that I missed Mitch Marner anytime goal prop, but I'm jumping on. So hopefully it doesn't end here, but he's been on a heck of a run, and I'll be on him to score here in Carolina, and I'll be on the Toronto Maple Leafs as a road dog in this one. Moving on along to our next game here, we've got the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Montreal Canadiens. Columbus minus 105, plus 105. Montreal minus 115 to minus 125. Sixes, I do see some 6.5s in this one here. And for me, it's the over 6. I think this should be 6.5 right across the board. Yes, I'm betting this game. I know. Columbus 2-6-1 in their last 9, but they've gone over 6.5 in 7 of their last 8. They've gone over 8.5 in 5 of their last 7 games. Columbus games are soaring over the total. Montreal 2-8-2 in their last 12 games. They've gone over 6.5 in 7 of their last 10 games. For the last 7 meetings between the teams, over 6.5. Columbus 6-1 in the last 7 meetings. They've definitely had success against the Montreal Canadiens in the past, but this isn't a big enough plus price for me to take the Blue Jackets. And also, Patrick Laine will be away from the Blue Jackets for 2 to 4 weeks, and that's an offensive piece missing. So not enough for me to stay off the total because the total's at 6, but it's enough for me to stay off the Blue Jackets as a road dog in this one. Looking at props, there are none. There are none in this game. We'll move on along to our next one. Ottawa Senators plus 130 to plus 160. New Jersey Devils minus 167 to minus 194. 6.5s right across the board in this one. Ottawa 2-5-1 in their last 8, so not playing really all that well. 6 of their last 9 games have gone over 6.5. New Jersey 1-2-2 in their last 5 games. 4-1-1 in their last 6 at home against Ottawa. 5 of the last 7 meetings between the teams have gone to overtime in this one. And this is one of the few games where I don't have anything. New Jersey, while I'm backing them against Buffalo on the puck line, it's a premium play up for me on the site. I'm not going to take them on the puck line the second night in of a back-to-back, especially at home. They're the best road team in the NHL, and I just don't like the back-to-back situation. So if I'm getting to anything in this game, it'll be a small play on the draw, potentially. But other than that, for the or most for officially for right now. This game is a pass. Moving along to this rival, when people see these two teams facing each other, it's Ovechkin versus Crosby. That's what people think of when they see this meeting between these teams. Eventually, that will change, but for right now, it's Ovechkin versus Crosby, and I'm taking Team Ovechkin here. Washington plus 115 to plus 127. Pittsburgh minus 139 to minus 163. Home favorites 6.5s right across the board. Washington 2-2-1 in their last five. They've gone over 6.5 in 6 games in a row. Pittsburgh has lost 5 of their last 6 games. Tristan Jarry is injured. No timetable for his return. Pittsburgh, 2 games have gone under, 2 games have gone over, and then 2 games have landed on 6. So they've been kind of close to the total, but when you look at a total of 6.5, 2 games over, 4 games under. Washington 4-1-2 in the last 7 meetings in Pittsburgh. 8 of the last 9 games have gone over 6.5. I like Washington as a road dog here, and I like the over 6.5. Washington has been playing well, has been scoring goals. They've played well in Pittsburgh, and I think Pittsburgh is just too big of a favorite here. In this game, Dylan Strome to get an assist. 10 of his last 13 games now, he has an assist. With Washington being a dog here, I'm pretty sure it's going to be plus money price once again for Strome to get an assist. So that's where I'll be going in this game for player props is Dylan Strome. Looking at our next game here, we've got the Vegas Golden Knights plus 140, or sorry, plus 130 to plus 160. Edmonton Oilers minus 167 to minus 185. 6.5s right across the board in this one. Vegas Golden Knights 10-2 in their last 12 games. Edmonton 9-2 in their last 11 games. Both teams have gone over 6.5 in 5 of their last 6 games. I'm on the over 6.5 here. And I'm passing when it comes to the side. You see Vegas at this big plus price, and with the way they've been playing, I want to take them. The issue, Edmonton has won 5 of the last 6 meetings between the teams, including both games this year. I think Edmonton wins this game. I just don't like the big price that they are at. So ultimately, I think this game is ultimately priced correctly. Edmonton's the favorite. I I can see people looking at Vegas at the big plus price. But this is one team that they just don't play too well against. So I'm going to take the over in this game. When it comes to player props, Riley Smith, who did not get his point, finally the point streak ended, and it turns out he's hurt. He will not be playing in this game for Vegas. He's played so well with Pavel Dorofeyev, who did not score in his last game. So I'm staying off both of their props, but not jumping off of Alex Pietrangelo. I said on yesterday's show that was one of the most overpriced props, incorrectly priced props for Pietrangelo, plus 135 to get a point. With Vegas being a big plus underdog here, we're going to see Pietrangelo to get a point, plus money once again. He's got a point in 7 of his last 8 games. This is Edmonton. They're going to allow some goals. I think if it's plus money, it's priced incorrectly. Pietrangelo should not be plus money with how he's playing right now. Even with Vegas being a big plus money dog in this one. So I like Pietrangelo to get a point. Taking, depending on the price, of course, especially for this one, Connor McDavid to score. He has a goal in 5 of his last 6 games. I want to see at least minus 110 to minus 115, maybe minus 120. but that's about it. And then Leon Draisaitl over 1.5 points. He has over 1.5 points in 4 of his last 5 games. So hopefully that is plus money as well, and I will take that. Going on along here to St. Louis and Anaheim, our final game of the Saturday card. St. Louis minus 143 to minus 163. Anaheim plus 115 to plus 135. 6.5s right across the board in this one. And I like St. Louis. I just don't like the price of the money line. So most likely I'm going to go with St. Louis in regulation here. St. Louis 5-2-1 in their last 8 games. They've gone over 6.5 in 5 of their last 7. Anaheim 1-4-1, so 1 win in their last 6 games. They've gone over in half of those games, 3 of the 6. St. Louis 9-1 in their last 10 trips to Anaheim. They've scored 4+ goals in 8 of the 10 games, and they've covered the puck line in 6 of their last 10 games in Anaheim. They've played this Ducks team so well, and the Blues are playing well right now with Joel Hofer in net. So, of course, in order for me to pull the trigger on this game, I'm going to want to see Hofer in net once again for the Blues. If for some reason they go back to Bennington or something like that, this will be a no play for me. And I don't have any props for this game. Most of the top guys kind of dried up for St. Louis recently. Let me bring up and get this here, and we will go to the best bet segment. So obviously, if you've been watching the show, I mean, I don't know if it even gives you the option to comment, but not a live show. So leave your best bet in the comments after you're done watching the video in the comment section. If you want to leave your best bet for the show. And you can do it today, tonight, or you can wait till tomorrow on Saturday. Because I'm doing this right now, I cannot pick any player props because there are no odds out currently. So I will have to stick with a side or a total here in this game. Let's see here. I did not really think. You know what? I'm gonna do it. It's one of my most confident plays. If there's a auto bet, something I'm auto betting, I got to make it my best bet because it's one of the things I'm most confident in, and that is the over 6.5 between Florida and the New York Rangers. Yes, the New York Rangers have not been going over lately, but you have to look at the teams they faced. Now they're facing Florida. This is an over team. The best price currently for the over 6.5 is minus 119. All right. So that is today's show. Well, that is the show for Saturday. Still getting used to this, but yeah. Now there'll be no rushing in the morning. Everyone can watch it tonight. You can watch it in the middle of the night. You can watch it in the morning. Whatever works best for you. As I said on the show, there will be shows for Saturday, Sunday. Obviously, this show right now, and I'll be posting it the night before. And the show's not live, but feel free to put your best bet in the comment section below. But that is the show for Saturday. Best of luck to everybody. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the content. I appreciate all the support. Best of luck, and we'll see you tomorrow night for Getting Wild with Terry, free NHL picks for Sunday slate. Best of luck, guys.